Don't bring your kids to Christmas. It's adults only, my sister snapped. Then she took my $4,000 toward the dinner. That night, her feed showed Santa arriving, gifts piled high. My daughter asked, "Where's our Santa?" I just smiled. That night, I prepared a shocking surprise for them. By morning, my phone showed 89 missed calls, and 2 officers on my porch. It started with a text. A simple, stupid group text in early November from my sister Marlene. "Don't bring your kids to Christmas. It's adults only this year." Just like that. No explanation. No warning. Just a snippy little line like it was nothing. Now I have one child, Olivia. She's 7. Smart, sweet, quiet. Honestly, the easiest kid in the world to bring anywhere. Last year, she spent half the Christmas dinner coloring in the corner with her markers and whispering thank yous for every gift. But sure, adults only. I didn't respond immediately. Neither did anyone else. Then my mom chimed in with a weak, "Marlene, are you sure about that? Maybe we can make an exception for Liv." Marlene doubled down. "This isn't up for discussion. We're doing something elegant this year. No screaming, no sticky hands, no toys everywhere. I've already planned it. Let's keep it classy." 5. Right. She forgot one tiny detail. I was the one paying for Christmas dinner. Or at least I had been. $4,000 already wired to her account back in October to reserve the venue, the catering, the flowers, the pianist she insisted on. She had begged me. Literally sent me long voice notes about how magical she wanted it to be. "I want people to talk about it for years," she said. So I replied finally. "Just to confirm, Liv and I are not invited, right?" Marlene replied with a thumbs up emoji. I didn't respond again. I just let it sit. A few days passed. Then a week. Christmas got closer. She posted teasers on her Instagram stories. Little glimpses of decorations. Gift bags lined up. A customized champagne cart. Meanwhile, I made other plans for Olivia and me. Quite small. I told her Christmas was just going to be cozy this year, just the 2 of us. She didn't complain. But on Christmas Eve, her little voice broke me when she asked, "Where's our Santa?" I told her Santa sometimes works late. And smiled. But while she slept, I worked. I didn't take the money back. Not yet. Instead, I let the evening unfold. And it did. Oh, it did. Marlene's feed was a full-blown gala by 8 p.m. She live-streamed Santa arriving in a sleigh I paid for. Towering piles of gifts. Waiters in black ties. Champagne towers. Glittering lights. Our relatives dressed to the nines, dancing, laughing, toasting. And not a single child in sight. Not even Olivia. The only niece. The only child in the entire family. Erased. I didn't say anything that night. I let them celebrate. Then the next morning I executed step 1 of my surprise. By 10 a.m. I had 89 missed calls. By 10:20, 2 officers were standing on my porch. They weren't there for me. They were there to ask questions about Marlene. Because when the guests tried to leave her party, they realized none of their cars were there anymore. The cars disappeared like magic. They'd all trusted the valet. Of course they did. The podium was there. Uniformed attendants with name tags, radios, the whole production. Marlene had even posted a smug story on Instagram earlier that night. "Only the best. Arrive, hand over your keys, drink champagne. Effortless. Effortless." That part was true. Taking everything from her was easier than I thought it would be. The thing is, I know people. And when someone crosses you after years of taking, you start remembering favors you never cashed in. Like my friend Cam. He runs a towing business 2 counties over. Usually works with insurance claims and repos, but I asked for something a little different this time. I gave him a list of license plates, the party's address, and a window of time. He towed 24 luxury vehicles from the venue to a secured lot an hour away. No scratches. No damage. Just gone. By the time Marlene's guests started to leave, every car was missing. At first they thought it was a prank. Then panic set in. By midnight, people were furious, cold, calling the cops, trying to understand how 24 vehicles vanished from a gated lot with security cameras. Marlene was in heels, sobbing, losing her grip in front of everyone she'd been trying to impress. That was the beginning. The next morning, 2 officers showed up at my door. Olivia was still in her pajamas, eating leftover cinnamon rolls and watching cartoons. I answered the door like nothing was wrong. They asked if I knew anything about a car theft incident at a private event. I said truthfully I hadn't been invited. I smiled. Told them I was spending Christmas with my daughter. They left after a few minutes, awkward and unsure. But I wasn't done. That morning I dropped the real hammer. Marlene didn't just lose her cars. She lost her financial lifeline. Years ago I set up a joint emergency fund for our family after I sold my tech company. I was generous, too generous. I let Marlene have access when she needed to float expenses for her so-called event business. I helped Mom and Dad when Dad had heart issues, when Mom's car broke down, when the roof started leaking. Everyone swore it was temporary, they'd make it up to me. They never did. So I pulled everything. Quietly. 2 weeks before Christmas, I moved my money into new accounts. Marlene didn't even notice. I left her account open with exactly $2.17, just enough to remind her it hadn't been a glitch. It was intentional. By 10:30 a.m. my phone exploded. Marlene's text came in first. She skipped straight to rage. "What did you do? Where is the money? You ruined everything." I didn't answer. I was helping Olivia build her Lego castle. We were having a good morning. Then came the calls from Mom and Dad. Straight to voicemail. Then my cousin Jules texted, "Hey, you better pick up. Your parents are on their way." I replied, "Let them." They showed up tight-lipped, pretending to be calm, but I could see the panic in their eyes. Dad didn't even sit down. Mom tried guilt first. How could I humiliate Marlene like that? Why would I take their money? What happened to being a family? I asked her how it felt watching Olivia get excluded from Christmas like she was nothing. She said Marlene made the rules this year. I said I made the rules now. It's funny. They always expected me to give. To fund everything. They forgot the money was mine. Not ours. Not family money. Just mine. That night I got a message from my Aunt Lydia, Mom's sister. Short and simple. "You did the right thing. She's been rotten for years." That was the first crack in the family wall. Because not everyone agreed with what Marlene did. Not everyone thought I was the villain. And I wasn't done. 2 days after Christmas, the calls started coming from relatives I hadn't heard from in years. Some were just fishing for drama. "Wow, what really happened? Marlene said you hired a gang of tow truck drivers." Others tried to play neutral. "Can't you just talk it out, Stace? You've always been the mature one." I love that one. The mature one. That's code for be the bigger person so we don't have to take sides. But the best messages were the quiet ones. The ones that came late at night. My cousin Eric messaged me around 1 a.m. "I always wondered how long you'd keep letting them use you. Took guts." He sent me a screenshot of Marlene's now-deleted Facebook post. A dramatic rant about betrayal, sabotage, losing everything overnight. She painted herself as the victim of some financial mugging. Never once mentioned Olivia. Never once said she was sorry. And now it wasn't just about the party or the money. Marlene's credit cards had started bouncing. That elegant Christmas had been funded mostly on promises and overdraft protection. The florist called her. Then the caterer. Then the venue. All demanding payment. I knew because one of them accidentally called me. They still had my number from the original deposit. I told them gently they should speak to Marlene directly. Then I blocked the number. Meanwhile, my parents went quiet. I think they expected I'd cool down after the holidays, or maybe they assumed I was bluffing. But the silence lasted into January. I didn't unblock the joint account. I didn't respond to voicemails. I didn't return the sweater Mom left on my porch with a note saying, "Let's move past this." No. They wanted me to act like everything was fine. Like we could just gloss over what they allowed to happen. Pretend Marlene didn't exile Olivia from her own family for the sake of aesthetic. That week I sent Olivia back to school. She was fine. More resilient than I expected. But I wasn't. Every time I saw her happily playing or doing homework, it hit me again. How easy it had been for them to cut her out. My 7-year-old. My entire world. So I made the next move. Marlene's business website. A flimsy WordPress page she barely updated, had a few fake testimonials on it. I knew because 2 of the names she used were childhood friends of mine who hadn't seen her in years. I sent screenshots and explanations to the Better Business Bureau and flagged her Instagram business page for false advertising. I didn't lie. I didn't exaggerate. I just shared the truth. Within a few days her page was down. A few small vendors she worked with posted vague statements about re-evaluating partnerships. One of her clients, someone she used to brag about nonstop, publicly said she wouldn't be hiring her again. She spiraled fast. Mom called again, this time angry. "You're destroying your sister's life over one party." I didn't answer. But I did send her a screenshot of Olivia's text to Santa, which she dictated to me before bed. "Dear Santa, I'm sorry if I was bad and that's why I couldn't come. I'll be better next year." Mom didn't respond after that. A week later the final crack formed. Dad showed up at my door alone. No warning. No speech prepared. He looked tired. Older. He just stood there holding a check. "From the account," he said. I figured I should at least try to make it right. I took the check, looked at the number and handed it back. "I don't want it. But you and Mom should know. I've separated the accounts permanently." Wiggly. "I spoke to my lawyer last week. From now on, nothing's in my name except what I earn. He didn't fight me. He just nodded, put the check back in his pocket and walked away. That night, I booked a short weekend trip for Olivia and me. Just the two of us. Beachside. Warm weather. No drama. I didn't tell anyone where we were going. Meanwhile, Marlene's world was shrinking by the day. And the reunion? It was already being planned. They just didn't know what I had in store for it yet. The invitation came in mid-February, tucked inside a gold-foiled envelope like it was something special. It wasn't. Family Healing Dinner. Sunday, March 3rd at 5 p.m. That was the title. Not hosted at anyone's house, of course. It was at a rental hall outside the city, probably booked last minute, probably paid for with someone else's card. There was a phone number to RSVP. No signature. Just a location, a time, and a quote at the bottom that read, "We are stronger together." I didn't RSVP. They still set a place for me. A week before the dinner, my cousin Leah, one of the few who had stayed completely silent since Christmas, called me for the first time in over a year. He got straight to the point. "They're trying to get everyone in one room. I think your parents are behind it. They think if they can make it look like everyone's forgiven Marlene, you'll feel pressured to fall in line too." She paused. "They're scared of you now." That was new. I was used to being taken for granted but feared? Not once. Not ever. I thanked her and asked if she was going. She said she was, but only to watch the crash. He sounded almost excited about it. I could tell she wanted me to go, not for peace but for the aftermath. I waited until the day before the dinner to make my move. I sent one email. Just one. To the rental venue. I attached 2 documents. One was a cease and desist regarding the use of my name in any event promoting family healing, and the other was an invoice. A breakdown of every dollar I'd ever spent on family holidays over the last 6 years, including the recent Christmas event. Stamped paid in full at the bottom. I signed it. "Please ensure the family covers their own costs moving forward. Stacy." I CC'd Marlene, my parents, and 4 relatives I knew would immediately hit reply all. Then I blocked every single one of them on every platform. The dinner still happened. I didn't attend, but I heard everything. Leah texted me that night. "Your name got brought up 5 times in the first 20 minutes. They sat next to an empty chair with a gift bag on it. Like you were just late." Marlene cried twice. "Your mom tried to toast to new beginnings." Nobody clapped. Apparently after dinner, someone made the mistake of asking who was covering the bill. My dad offered to split it, but his card was declined. And Marlene? She said she'd forgotten her wallet. Leah said the night ended with a quiet argument in the parking lot and 3 people slipping out without saying goodbye. No hugs. No photos. No forgiveness. Exactly how I wanted it. The next morning I sent out a final message to the family group chat. The one I hadn't typed in since the day of the Christmas text. Just one line. "Some of us don't heal. Some of us move on." I left the chat right after that. And then I booked a lawyer. Because there was still one more move to make. I didn't even plan on involving a lawyer originally. But when you stop being useful to certain people, they panic. And when they panic, they start talking. Too much. A week after the dinner, my old boss from a freelance job I hadn't taken in years sent me a weird email. "Hey, just confirming. Are you still offering consulting under your old business name? Your sister reached out quoting your rates, said you were collaborating again." Collaborating? I nearly laughed. I called him. He read me the email Marlene had sent from her event firm, pitching herself as someone who co-manages high-end tech partnerships, and that her team, me, would be available for limited consultation. She even attached a portfolio with mock-ups I had made years ago. That's when I looped in my lawyer. We filed a cease and desist within 48 hours, and then we went one step further. I had him draw up formal documentation severing all family financial ties. No shared liabilities, no proxy authorizations, no co-signing privileges on anything. And then I pulled the final string. I froze the family trust. Not many people in the family knew it existed. It had been small at first. A quiet portfolio of stock investments and property assets I'd grown and quietly included my parents in years ago because I thought it was the right thing to do. They didn't put in a cent. But they were listed. Passive beneficiaries. I changed that. The freeze was legal, binding, and very, very permanent. My parents called me within the hour. Both of them. Voicemail after voicemail. Mom tried guilt again. Dad sounded like he was trying not to yell. The words ungrateful and unforgivable were thrown around. That was rich coming from them. I didn't answer any of it. But Olivia noticed I was quiet that week. She asked if I was mad at Grandma. I told her I wasn't mad. I was just done. Then came the fallout. Marlene lost her business license. Not from anything I did, but because she'd been reported enough times for shady behavior that the state started asking questions. Turns out she'd been pocketing deposits for events she never planned to deliver on. 3 clients filed official complaints. 1 even threatened a lawsuit. My parents, they downsized. Quietly. Sold the lake cabin. I knew it hurt them. That place was their pride. But they couldn't afford the maintenance anymore. They still tried to act like it was a lifestyle change. Sure. At the same time, Olivia and I were doing just fine. I picked up a new project, launched a small side app just for fun, and started planning a trip for the summer. Somewhere new, somewhere just us. But then I got an invitation I didn't expect. This time it was handwritten. From my Aunt Lydia. Read. Everyone's meeting at the house for a reunion. We think you should come. No pressure. Just honesty. I sat with it for a few days. Not because I was unsure. Because I wanted to really think about what I was going to wear. As I was going. And I had one last thing to say. I wore white. Not for drama. Not for symbolism. Just because it was clean, quiet, and impossible to ignore in a room full of people who'd once looked through me like glass. It was early April, warm enough to keep the windows cracked. Cold enough that the tension inside my parents' house felt even thicker. They'd offered to host the reunion to show unity. I showed up on time. Alone. Olivia stayed home with Cam's wife, coloring Easter eggs and watching cartoons. She didn't ask to come. She didn't even ask about Marlene anymore. 7-year-olds remember who left them out. They remember the door that closed. I walked in and saw the usual suspects. Most of the extended family looked away at first, then pretended to smile. My mom went straight for the kitchen, already holding a glass of wine. My dad was in the backyard pretending to mess with the grill, though nothing was cooking. Then Marlene walked in. Thinner. Her hair was duller. Even her voice was quieter. But she still walked like she thought she was being filmed. She didn't hug me. She just said, "Can we talk?" We went out to the porch. For once, she didn't try to control the narrative. No sob story. No manipulation. She admitted she messed up. That she went too far. That she thought I'd just swallow it like I always did. I let her talk. Then I asked one question. "Do you even remember what Olivia said to you the last time she saw you?" She blinked. Shook her head. "She handed you a picture she drew of our family and said, 'You forgot to put me in the Christmas photo last year, so I fixed it.'" Marlene looked like she wanted to cry. But I didn't let her. I stood up. "You didn't just cut me out, Marlene. You cut out a child. You humiliated her to feel powerful. You convinced everyone that excluding her was tasteful. And they all let you." I opened my bag and pulled out an envelope. Inside was a single photo. Olivia and me on the beach wearing Santa hats, holding a sign that said, "Our own Christmas. No crumbs." I handed it to her. Then I turned around and walked inside. That's when I noticed the quiet. Everyone had stopped talking. My parents were in the hallway watching. I walked right past them, straight to the living room, and placed a second envelope on the coffee table. Inside that one, a typed document. Official notice of permanent separation from the family trust, signed and notarized. A second page listed every instance of financial support I'd given in the past 10 years, with a total at the bottom. Next to it, one sentence. "Consider this my final contribution." I left without saying goodbye. As I drove away, I didn't feel angry, or proud, or vindicated. I felt done. There's a before and after in every family. Sometimes it's a death. Sometimes it's a birth. For us, it was Christmas. And in the after, my daughter and I are doing just fine.